किसी को चाहिए फटाफट भेज।
ग्रुप में डाल
डाल डाल डाल डाल लिंक फिर चल रहा है। ओके लुकिंग फाइन डन थैंक यू।
Gentlemen, esteemed guests, and distinguished participants, welcome to the much awaited and anticipated HR Conclave. Let's deep dive in the ocean of knowledge through such eminent personalities. It is with immense pleasure and excitement that we are gathered here today to embark on such a journey of learning, innovation, and collaboration. This is a huge mark on the realm of human resources. This conclave serves as a convergence point for HR professionals, thought leaders, and industry experts to exchange ideas, explore emerging trends, and address the challenges which shape the future of these younger generations globally. As we navigate through an era where AI is taking most of the jobs and uncertainty is looming around most of the professions, the significance of HR in such situations is driving its sustainable growth and fostering a culture of excellence, which cannot be overstated. With a lineup of esteemed speakers and panel guests, and then we are providing networking opportunities. We are poised to gain invaluable insights, forge meaningful connections, and collectively chart a course towards a brighter future for this younger generation.
May I request all our eminent personalities guide us through this period of recession and layoffs. We would also thank our HR team help us conceptualize such a high-profile HR conclave. As we commence this conclave, let us embrace the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and a lifelong learning.
Together, let us explore the new horizons, challenge the conventional wisdom, and inspire one another to elevate the practice of HR with students in unprecedented heights.
It's an honor to welcome Vinay Chopra sir, our esteemed placement director, whose unwavering commitment to nurturing talent and forging meaningful connections between students and industry has been instrumental in our journey towards excellence.
Good morning to all the students, all the dignitaries, our beloved MD sir, all the HR fraternity, all my students. This is the day. Good morning to all. So before starting the event, may I request our esteemed panelist onto the dais, Mr. Hardik Shah, who presents Architect IBI onto the stage, please. Welcome, sir. Can I request Mr. Sonata Sen, who had a long flight from Chennai, after an event. Thank you so much for making it at GNI. A person whom I met through Mr. Priti Vasan, a person who has led WOW HR. May I request Mr. Pandi Raja onto the stage, please.
Check. Check.
A person whose article I have been closely reading on the LinkedIn, Dr. Veena Das from L&T Cures. Can I request you onto the stage, please now?
Check.
A person who was having a lot of high-tech schedule, hectic schedule I would say, but she still made it. Madam Janani Prakash from Gen Z On. Thank you so much for making it to GNI. Thank you so much. May I request our beloved Nika Venkatachalam sir, Bobby sir, popularly called as Bobby sir, onto the dais. He has been very much instrumental in helping our students gear up for the programs with virtual sir. Thank you sir, thank you so much. Another person whose schedule was very hectic, but still we were able to get few minutes to hear and dive deep into the ocean of knowledge. Mr. Shravan P, Senior Vice President, Project Technologies. I first touched base with now over LinkedIn. She had won an award, and when I discussed about this conclave with her, she was really deep interested in this event and share her knowledge and wisdom with all of you. Madam Parni Saraballa from Tech Mahindra. How many of you have been seeing cartoon movies from childhood? Raise your hands. Me too. Right. So, we have honor of welcoming Krupali Bhavan from Disney Star onto the dais, please. Anjana. May I request my friend my extended family, I would say, a person who has seen a lot of hardship in his life, but he goes behind, never give up attitude. Mr. Kriti from Pick Your Trade. Now, a person who does not need much introduction, a person who is very much favorite among students, a person who is from computer science background, but he's very passionate about emotional intelligence, IQ, and whatnot. He's a person who is filled with knowledge. You can speak about Ramayana to him, Mahabharata to him, lot more things. Our own beloved MD sir, Dr. H.S. Kenny, onto the dais.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up from your seats for Vande Mataram.
The presence of our esteemed Managing Director, Sir, HR Saini, Sir, to address the gathering. Your insights would greatly enrich the event. Thank you, Sir.
Good morning. First time I am late in coming out here from there. The responsible man is there. Meka Venkatacharpati, Bobby sir. He put me into the discussions. He said, today we should only watch Disney cartoons. So let's start today with fresh mind. On behalf of GRI, welcome luminaries on the stage. A well-decorated and panel of highly invited people. We are lucky and blessed to have you over here. I'm sure today's day is going to be memorable for me also, for my students also. So I welcome my students and I request you to be always remain silent, listen that this session is going to be very, very useful for the lifetime. Couple of things which I want to pinpoint and today are on my mind. I discussed with Mr. Vinay. I said, for the last 2 years, I am witnessing the campus hiring is not on growth, it's not growing. What are the reasons? We would like to listen from them. And what is going to be the future? We will again like to listen from them. We are today discussing drones. We are developing our weapon industry, vehicles, EVs, electrical buses, hydrogen fuels, and we are landing on moon. We see infrastructure in the country is being developed with a higher pace. We see so many other new things are coming in, especially new models of cars. Airline industry is growing. We can see from the media reports, a lot of growth is happening. Earlier, I read 3-4 newspapers daily. I read up to 6 newspapers, but 3-4 normally I read Business Standard, Economic Times, Times of India, and my favorite Indian Express also. Hindu also I read. Sometimes I read the reports. I are having tough time in placements. There are reports. IITs are not getting, students are not getting hired with the desirable packages. One side we can see there is a lot of growth which is happening, innovation is being done, a lot of investment is going from the government side. And we are very much concerned with the IT industry, what is happening. One side we say a lot of growth is happening, AI has come, generative AI, and other side I read that Google is laying off so many people, Wipro is laying off, if I am right. The reports I read. So what is going to be the future? Coming few years, because it's very relevant to you. Coming couple of years are very, very relevant to you because you will be deciding your future, career. So listen to today's discussion seriously. I will also listen, I will also try to understand from so many people at a time who are working for industry, they know the demand, where is the demand in hiring. This is a matter of concern today. I request the panelists to please focus on these areas also. How my students can think today and plan their future. How they should decide their career. Believe me, they are the smartest people here in these cities. They are full of energy. The divider which we are putting here is not in the classrooms. It is here because after 4 o'clock they will start dancing. There is a small dance program maybe. Then become very emotional. Just to control the discipline, this divider is there. It's not in the campus, not in the classrooms. Which I didn't like in the morning. I said we could have put it later on, but okay. Administration has no limitations. They have put it now only from the beginning. So today I also appreciate a lot of work that has been done by Mr. Vinay Chopra, his team, a lot of work which has been put in by the administration. And our students, look at the response to this event. They are the students who are very serious about their career, and that's why they are here. So a round of applause for these people. Okay, for you. And welcome the dignitaries again on the dais. With this, I wish you good luck. I am sure today's particular session, today's day is going to be full of learning to help you in making your future decisions. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This event would not be possible without the help of WOW HR. So may I request Mr. Kriti Vasan, who represents WOW HR. It's a non-profit organization based out of Chennai, which is collecting all the HR fraternity and helping the student community to channelize their strengths and have a strong future. May I request Kriti Vasan, sir.
respected MD sir, dignitaries on the stage of the dais, and beautiful heroes and heroines of today's program. Very good morning. It's an honor to be here and not just representing my company, but representing WOW HR. Something along with my friends when we started back, it's just about 8 months that we started this initiative. We have been going to multiple campuses, doing a lot of talks and many other things. But one thing that struck us was, hey, we aren't doing anything for our own fraternity. So that's why we decided that we'll form something for HR, by HR, where we are going to go away from the regular discussions and forums, but rather we will do something called masterclass, where we are going to pick up some topics and we are going to do a case study oriented, where they get to learn something. That's how we started WOW HR. But the success of the first event itself saw many HRs coming and telling us, hey, why don't you do it in a bigger forum? And that's exactly when the college also came to us and said, why don't you do something for the student? And that's how we again said, okay, we'll start something for the students called Student Forum. And so WOW HR was formed for the college as well, where we help the students in terms of preparing for the interviews, preparing for their future, not just for one particular session, but we do it in a year-long forum. It's not just one day we come, we speak to you when we go. We do one-on-one mentorship. It's like we have a day job and we have a weekend passion that we want to give back to the society. That's how Monday to Friday we work for our own companies. Saturday and Sunday we give it back to the community. We help the students in skilling themselves to be ready for the future. That's how WOW HR was formed. And I would like to place a sincere gratitude to the college. Because this event, when we started discussing with the college, it was in a very, very small, short forum that we thought that we will do only for the management graduates. And we will do it in a different forum because we want to concentrate on the HR. But they requested it saying that when we do it grand. And that's how all other fellow HRs from different organizations are here today to speak to you, to interact and to help you plan for your future. With this, I once again thank the management, and on behalf of WOW HR, we would like to felicitate the college. So may I request Dr. Vinay to come out and speak, please. And Saravanan and Pandi from WOW HR, please. And without MD sir, nothing is possible. So MD Zaini sir, please.
Thank you to the team of WOW HR and our management. Now, it is our pleasure to welcome you to this intimate fireside chat. I request Janani Prakash ma'am and Meka Venkata Chalapati sir to please stay back and other dignitaries to please take their seats. Today, we gather around the warmth of metaphorical fire to engage in a candid and insightful exploration and enlightenment as we delve into this ocean of knowledge. Without further ado, let us embrace the cozy ambience and prepare ourselves for an evening of meaningful dialogue and reflection. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed speaker, Ms. Janani Prakash ma'am and Meka Venkata Chalapati sir.
check.
Okay, let me break the ice. Good morning, everyone. I can't break. That's the spirit, because we have come here to a place where there is the youngest blood, right? Like you're all younger than all of us here. So what are you looking at to hear from this fireside chat? What's there on top of your minds? I want to hear. Can someone just pass a couple of mics there?
I can bring up one question.
Yeah, sure.
अपना नंबर कब आएगा?
अपना number कब आएगा? With respect to placement, is it? आ जाएगा. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, isn't it? So preparation is what we will need to focus on. So what should they be preparing? What's your view?
Before I start trying to level some of that, there
Please,
is
yeah.
an expectation from any of you. What do you want us to cover? So, Dr. Vinay, who's keeping a time check on the schedule? How much time do we have? 20 minutes. All right. So we have 20 minutes that we can speak about. If you can pass on a couple of expectations that you'd like us to cover, we'd really be very happy to do that. And hopefully we will justice to your expectation of the session. So I have one question which is apna number kab aayega? And the context of that question is today the industry is going through such a visionary phase, that it's pretty much either a slowdown or a takeaway of some of the offers that have been made in the marketplace, or delayed joining of campus social talent. Right? This is happening more so often now than it used to happen about a decade or 2 decades back. So perhaps we should try and open up and try and say, why is this happening? Maybe that will give some context to students. And I'd like to flip this on its head and say that what
corporate today from IT industry. So I will tell you what happens typically, right? First, there is a customer is going through some pressures. What are those pressures? Very similar to each one of our pressures today. Technology is advancing really fast. Cost is going up and there is a constant pressure of wanting to reduce cost. Number 3, skilling. The job that has to be done needs a certain variety of skill and people are not skilled. But job has to be done, right? That's the other one. Then there is this whole ambit of the economic changes happening in different parts of the world. There is a war happening, geopolitical nuances, all these big terms that people talk about, right? But how does it affect each one of us? Now, let me take a step back and talk about this customer. We will create a case right now, alright? So that it's understandable for everyone. So we have a customer here. Let's say this customer
is going through a very big difficulty of wanting to reduce cost. So he's looking at which company can I work with to reduce the cost and let them do whatever. Let them downsize, let them bring in new technology, let them do whatever, right? Like, or have people work from a location that's low cost. And today, let me tell you, India is not anymore low cost. Not anymore. So we are losing our competitive advantage there as a country, right? Because freshers, you all are also expecting a certain number when you come into the industry. So the customer is thinking about these things and then he's looking for partners. So I'm giving you a customer view. Then there are partners. Let's say company X and company Y. We are going and bidding there. We are saying we will solve your problem. And let's say I win, like my company wins, okay? Because I am talking the case. He has lost it. Now see, competition starts at this level. I've got him and then I am in pressure because I've signed up for something. I have no capability or I think I will figure it out because I've figured it out in the past and it has always happened in IT industry. I know when some companies did not have an office, they have put up an office and they have shown that this is their office. This is all in the past, but right now, those things are not happening, okay? But the point is, they are unable, now I am unable to figure out. I am in severe pressure because I have said, okay, maybe you are making X million, I will bring down the cost by 50% by my work. Now I am going and scratching my head, where did I go and get talent from? How will I reduce this money overall? And I don't have competent people, and more than anything, my well-being is seriously affected because I don't know how to do the job, right? So this is the real life scenario that I just painted to you as to what is happening in the industry. Now, if this is the case, then how will I be able to hire freshers and train them also and then deploy them? And now I want to bring some stats. I was listening to something and I heard that there are about 8 million engineers coming out every year. Of that, only 2.8 lakhs are employable. 2.8 lakhs. So look at the starking number. Then what means someone is employable, right? That's very important for us to ponder upon. So this is like the real life situation. I want to take a pause because this is a fireside chat and not a one-side conversation that, I mean, it's not a monologue. So I'm going to pose this question to you, asking how can this 2.8 lakhs increase and what can students do and maybe what are some of our professionals doing also in the industry?
Sure. Thank you, Janani. I think that was a good context and a nice business case that you set up. Yeah, the stats are around that 2.8 lakhs is what employable. What is employable definition? People who have skill sets and who have attitude, okay, which is in demand by the corporate industry. And this 3 lakhs and 2.8 lakhs is essentially the organized industry. Right? There is always an unorganized industry also which has asked. It's not as structured or as seamless as in the organized industry, but they also take, let's say that's another 30%. But essentially what the industry would want to look at when they look at freshers is, I'm going to keep aside, and I'm not taking the example of an IT industry here, because we have students who want to pursue careers in various streams. So regardless of whatever the stream that we specialize in, whether it's engineering, management, law, for any fresher, it is that $1 million question saying, where will I get a job, where will I learn my best salary? So what should a fresher focus on? And more importantly, what should the institution, academic institution focus on in helping students aspire to become employable in the future? Or let's say are being capable of getting into the entrepreneurial side. And that's another angle that is developed over the last 5 odd years. There's been an uptake of almost 50% of students who want to become an entrepreneur right up front, immediately after education. Frankly, even now, I shudder to think, if I have to start a business on my own, right? Even after having worked for 30 years. So I must appreciate the courage, that the students have. Anyways, coming back to the questions, what do students need to have, what is the institution? So the industry, regardless of your functional domain, common employable skills are ability to be able to communicate clearly. That could be your business language. And yes, if you're looking at customers who are to be served across geographies, then a common language, let's say English in this case, because that's the most commonly spoken language. So ability to be able to comprehend and converse. This is all that we need when you speak about communication. No need to be worrying about diction, about accent. All that is additional, aspirational, so long as I'm able to understand what you say and you're able to understand what I say. I think we've spoken about. Yes, you will have certain intonations into this because you're going to be looking at people speaking with different upbringings, so the way they construct questions or answers. You'll have to understand that. So, let's say you work with people from Sri Lanka, they have a very, very different way of speaking. They would not ask you a question up front, but it will sound like a question, but it's a statement. So you've got to figure out that they're actually asking a question. And especially if you're working with people in Latin America, they can't ask you a question directly. I believe it's called being impolite to say that I'm asking a question. So I'm being researched and I'm saying something. So you have to pick up those cultural nuances to move forward. So essential is one is communicate. Second is intent to learn. Right? When I say intent to learn, that inquisitiveness that I want to know what's happening, why is it happening? Can you question status quo? Not with the intent of ridiculing something, but with the intent of really understanding how does it work? Why is it working this way? Why can't it work any other way? Possibly, if there are better ways, that something can be done. Right? But the inception for that is with you being able to think, saying how does it work, right? So that inclusiveness to know how does it work. Third is how do I keep my inquisitiveness continuing on a sustainable basis? That seed to learn. Right? First is to know, second is to learn. And then of course your domain, whether it is computers, IT or mechanical, whatever. So I'll keep the domain aside because that's something we specialize in. So this is from what the industry would expect. There are certain foundational aspirations that any industry expert would want, which is anybody who's passing out of the school, when I say school or college, your computational ability, how can you compute? No matter whether you are doing arts, commerce or science, right? You'd still be expected to be able to compute, make sense, logical reasoning. Right? So these are certain skills that we expect. So anyone who's looking to get into a job, you may have not been great at academics while you were in school and you managed to clear through, and I'm one of those categories. But ensure that the foundations, you're very clear. Right? The foundations, you know why some things work when they work. That's important, and that's essentially what most organizations want. Yes, there are organizations where they have clear-cut jobs, where they have people who they really want to rise. So in such cases, they will definitely expect more. But for the rest of us, I would say, let's say 80% of the population passing out of schools, in my mind, this is what I would want to look at. 3 things: communication. Second is being able to understand, and third is learn constantly. I'm following something that Krithivasan always keeps saying: sharpening the axe, right, to stay on the cognitive edge. That's my long short answer.
Wonderful. Students, do you know now? What are the 3 things he said? Anybody? Not the ones in the first row. We have the experts in the first row. Communication skills, learnability, curiosity. Something that guys, a number of students come to me and ask, okay, now when I complete engineering, is my education done? Nahi bacha, abhi picture baaki hai, abhi shuru ho raha hai picture. It's like that, right? It's just a trailer that you're going through in the college. All of us are studying, by the way. All of us are doing one certification or the other almost every year. So that's how it is. Life is like that right now. Yeah, thank you for those.
No, in fact, I just want to add, it's not that you have to go learn something as a training program or a certification. The fact that you're living every day is a learning. As you wake up and you meander through the day, it's a learning, right? either you're teaching somebody or somebody is teaching you. You're being taught. One way or the other, there is learning. There is a learning curve that's always that you go through. It's just a matter of, yes, over time you don't realize that you're learning because you've been so habituated to that concept, but you're constantly learning. Today, when Jeremy and I met for the first time today, although we met sometime in July last year. Today I got to know that she's a trained vocalist, she's a singer, and she also plays the veena. She wears multiple hats. So, and I learned something about what she does. I'm sure she may have learned something also about me, but I don't know what that's worthy of anything. So learning is constant, right? Keep that urge, that curiosity always. Like Janvi quoted now that you complete education doesn't mean a pustakala may be made a better toy, and that's not the way it happens, right? Trust me, what you're going to experience in the workplace is going to be completely different. But what is important is what you've learned in your formative years of your engineering or your class 8, 7 onwards. Your foundation programs in mathematics, science, civics also. These are the things that will help you. Sorry, Jack, you say something. Okay. And so, okay, yes, I had a question. This is relating to your passion. You mentioned you pursue singing and then veena. So there are students who are, the cusp of getting a job. There's some of these students who also have passions that they pursue, which may be diversely different from what they intend to pursue as a career. What would be your advice, if they have already started focusing on the career? I thought I would take and ask you a slightly different question.
Yeah.
How do you think, they should really approach this? Perhaps if you can walk us through what you did in your career when you wanted to pursue your passion. She comes from a singing family, so it's not that it's not easy, but it still takes perseverance to pursue that and continue. So if there's students who are aspiring to pursue a passion which is other than what their mainstream career would like to be, how would you advise them to really meander?
I would just maybe I'll just share my own journey of it. Yes, I come from a music family and no option. In our family, we had to learn music. So, yes, I had to learn these two things, both veena and singing from childhood. And I spent very different holiday seasons, right? Like from class 2, my father used to say, you need to sit study for some time during holidays, plus you need to have a plan for when you will practice your art. So, I used to hate it. I talk about it, but then retrospectively, perhaps that's the best thing that made me as the person I am today and I will be tomorrow, right? So, number one, I think what we can learn from what our journeys have been is very important. For example, in my case, discipline, managing self, ability to be able to cut something in my head and then keep it aside and then focus on what is in the now. Right? That's extremely important in today's corporate world. Number 4, very important and maybe relevant for each one of you is not to compare your journey with anybody else's. Each one of us is as unique as our fingerprint, isn't it? Yes, but we always keep comparing ourselves with, okay, I posted that I had idli today morning. He also posted, he got more likes than me. Why is it? Do you all feel that? Yes? I think social media comparison is an added pressure to all of us and especially this generation. I think refrain from comparison. If you're comparing, you should compare your own self. Because the very purpose of our being is, however I was yesterday, can I become a little better today? Can I become a little better tomorrow? I think that's one thing I have constantly worked on. And I would recommend that to everyone here. Now coming back to the question of passion, it's very good for us to continuously think what will stay with us. For this, something responded to me a few years ago when I was just sitting and retrospectively thinking, whatever job my mother did, I don't understand. I feel fairly confident my daughter would not understand after 10-15 years. Maybe I might feel proud that, oh, I got this award, all that, but that will also not be constant. You see the transience of everything. Then what is it that will be with me is perhaps the art that I picked up, or perhaps the way I have transformed myself as a person. I think that's pretty much what I can carry. It's really in my control. And we are also talking a lot about loneliness and how that piece is growing in parallel, right? Each one of us, we think, okay, we have a big ecosystem, but finally we might be alone and we might battle with our emotions alone, and we need to learn to tackle that. And that's another thing I will highly recommend here, and music or anything that you are doing apart from work will help you in that sense of detachment and to make yourself complete. So how do you do it? Very clear, time management. Consider yourself like a student that used to go to school. I mean, you all are going to your college, if you are going for your classes in the weekends, anything else, continue it after work also. Don't think that this is gone, that life is finished. Did I have a break in between? Yes, I had some 5 years of break when I became a mother, but I felt the responsibility is more because my daughter needs to get the same ecosystem as that of me. So I went back to classes, I started teaching music, and now she has the same environment. She is also multifaceted. So that's really my answer, and I would say that at many points of time when I felt lack of conviction in my work, I could lean on to music. And yeah, over the years I also picked up yoga. I became a certified yoga instructor about 4 years ago, and that also gives me a lot of grounding to who I am as a person. So that's my answer.
Thank you, Janani. So I've done yoga as well. You know who to look up to now. You need to get inspired. So I'm going to change our tracks a bit, right? We spoke about passion, what do you want to do, why you want to keep it. I'm sure the students are aware of what's happening in the industry. Right? There's a lot of pressure that the industry is passing on to the academic institutions and the students in terms of expectation. I'm sure they're really keen to know what, perhaps keen to listen to. Why is this especially in the industry? What's really happening in the industry? We can throw some light on that would be helpful. And possibly the last question, if you can throw some light on what is this pressure in the industry is talking about? Why is this pressure happening?
Sure, thank you. I will respond to it in the way I know, and feel free to add. See, there are many factors that are happening, similar to the business case that I was talking about in the beginning, right? Let's talk about skills. Earlier, the skills half-life, in the sense, most of these skills, full construct, right? It used to be 5 years. You have one skill, the skill is valid for 5 years. Now, that has shrunk to 2.5 years. That's a big battle that the industry is fighting. That definitely creates pressure, because I know what needs to get done. I know which skills are required, but I don't have the people that have the skill, because the skill is gone yesterday. Come on, it's like you're asking a newborn baby to run. How is that possible? So that's a big aspect. Number two is the varieties of technologies that are constantly coming in, the sense of competition is taking us back to survival instinct than thriving instinct. Now, this aspect is very important, right? We all get afraid as soon as we hear a big thug sound. Why? Because humans, in our genetic memory, we think of, oh, okay, there is an animal that's trying to come and eat me away. So let me protect myself. That's the survival mindset. Yes, I'm hearing it. I'm going to pause. I'm going to fight back. It's a thriving mindset. I think Indian industry, at least, or the entire world, was a thriving mindset for a long time. But in the last 4 or 5 years, I think it has changed, because suddenly COVID happened, acceleration of remote working happened, and today, in whatever you were talking, you were referring to 4 countries at least. You were talking about Sri Lanka, culture of different places. See, earlier I don't think we were really capable to talk about this, because our exposures were not like this. But then today, if you see, industry is like a global village. It has pros and cons. So it's like, okay, I was a head of HR right? Think of, again I get back to from a thriving, successful person to survival instinct because I don't know about the 5 other countries. I need to learn. How will I learn? How will I manage? I think that's really the construct. But is it impossible? As humankind, have we not gone through it? We have. All it takes is just that ensuring that we move back to the mindset shift, thriving mindset, saying, I can do this, I've done it in the past, and I will create an ecosystem that will support me. I'll create ways to get trained. And here I want to tell an incident about a college boy that I know. He comes from a very small college, very small place, absolutely unknown to the world. I don't think the college is even here. Now, here is this person and then here is a tier 1 engineering student. There are two people's journey, okay? Now, the tier 1 engineering student thinks really well about himself. He's doing well, he lands up in a good job, very good. Looks down at many college students that are not tier 1 or tier 2. This is one side of the story. Now, here is this other boy who comes from an unknown college, an unknown place, can't communicate well, but has that zeal, has that perseverance and determination, right? Has confidence in self, is not anxious, is willing to do what is needed. So this boy started reaching out to people on LinkedIn saying, I will do free projects, I'll do anything, I'll keep doing projects. So every time this person did a project, he started posting. He started going and talking to seniors how to improve communication skills. What happens in corporate? Just help me shadow you during a particular day when you are working from home. These are the things this boy does. And then one finally a startup founder catches hold of this boy and says, I think you're very good. I love your attitude. Come to a project with me. This guy joins the startup. He becomes a co-founder over a period of time. He has now surpassed the other person. Look at it. This possibility exists for each one of us here. How do we get there? It's again in us, right? So that's really my answer. Pressure is external. Anything from external can be managed from a strengthened internal self. So that's what is very important, especially because I see a lot of students also becoming anxious. Anxiety attacks in freshers. And then they say, I can't work. No, what are you going to do? Right? So I think that's another very important piece that each one of us need to strengthen ourselves on. Rather than only artificial intelligence and data and analytics. Those are all going to be there today. They will all transform to another form tomorrow. But everything has to be managed by us. So that's my longish answer, but perhaps an important one.
Brilliantly put. I couldn't have articulated any better. If I may, just one angle that I thought I could add is, this is about what we put on ourselves as our own expectations of this item. Perhaps also thinking about, today, the example you gave, you winning the project, the client being X. The client's end customers are people like us who are using the product or the service. And so we have Bali here with business stuff. Now, let's say you're watching a program, you're watching a cartoon of Mickey Mouse, and suddenly you get bored, right? You say, okay, I don't want to watch Mickey Mouse, and you switch over to, let's say, Sailor Man, Popeye is a Sailor Man. So how easy is it for you to switch over from one program to the other program? Did you even think about it for a second, other than the decision? Today, the customer mindset is such. People are able to change priorities, orientation to products and services, just like that, and each and every one of us, right? How many of you have changed your bathing soap in the last 6 months? How many of you have changed your toothpaste in the last 6 months, right? If you have not thought even for, let's say, 5 minutes about it, remember that is the pressure that each of us is passing on to the manufacturer or the service provider. And that pressure is ultimately what will come and make the industry that is agreeing to provide services. And because they take up that pressure, then they will pass on that pressure to the education institution. And the education institution will in turn pass it on to the student. But remember, the student is also the user of that same product or service. If you are expecting, there is a very famous called the Pygmalion effect. For those who study psychology, the Pygmalion effect. Right? You are going to be impacted by what you expect the others to be. Always. If you're expecting this, then don't be surprised that it's coming back at you. Long story short, so the world is going to continue to keep changing, evolving, always for the good and the better. Right? These are all passing phases, right, when the industry goes through certain decisionary trends. But this is an opportunity for you to really be able to sit down, hone in your skills, spend more time learning. Right? I know some of you have taken loans, to pursue education. Don't worry. Hard work will never break a man, it will only make you stronger. Sorry, I should say hard work has never broken a human. It will only make you stronger. Thank you for the libraries. So, I'd like to thank Janani for insights. I certainly learned a couple of new things about the way you look at life. So, yoga, music, and she manages a 10-year-old kid whose birthday is coming up next month. And then you have not realized that she chose to get into HR after doing her engineering and computer science. How cool is that? She could have easily chosen to join HCL where she had a campus offer, but she chose to get into HR and then decided to do HR from DG Vaishnav School of Social Work in Chennai, and here she is with us 17 years later. So we're thankful, Jeremy, for the time you spent. I hope we've been able to make sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure, please. All the best, everyone. You can do it.
Sir and ma'am, I must say this was definitely not a traditional chat, right? I liked it how you both have emphasis on fundamental facts, yet we forget them. I liked it how you spoke about discipline. I liked it how you emphasized on the fact that one must focus on that task. And definitely in the era of social media, comparing yourself with one and your qualities and your achievements with one is such a big steep for us. I loved it how you mentioned about self-analysis, and definitely from school we've been taught about time management, and yet again you spoke about it, right? That reminded me of school and the school prayer and school bells, right? And the most favorite part of me personally, if you're asking, in this discussion was how you said mental health, right? Mental health is an issue that has been neglected for everyone, and now when you speak about it, I'm surprised to learn that employees in corporate also have issues of mental health, right? Thank you very much for emphasizing on this, but I have a question, if I may, right? So when Chalapati sir asked you, right, about the pressure in the industry, right, how the employees face the pressure of the work in industries, that made me think about this one particular fact that I'm a third-year student, ma'am. I've been hearing a lot from my seniors. They've been constantly using the term recession, right? That makes me wonder, what is the status of the trend recession? And I will be graduating in 2025, so I would like both of you to emphasize on this recession trend. And can you predict what can happen? Like, what is your take on this particular trend? And especially when it comes to my hiring. I'm a pass out, 2025 pass out batch.
Okay. Now, recession is an external factor. I'll go back to the internal factor, right? And I also want to again, many things that I will talk about, you'll think, okay, what am I asking and what is she responding? But there is connection. I'll explain why. We think I need to reduce weight. Let's say I'm aiming to reduce weight by 5 kgs at the end of 6 months. Every week I look at my weighing machine. I say, weight, that's 30. Now what am I doing? I'm constantly looking at the result that I want to achieve. I'm growing my anxiety there. And my energy is only so much. I'm dissipating it to what is not in my control, which is reducing my weight on a weekly basis or what that machine is going to show me. But let's shift gears and look at what is in my control. I need to eat right, correct? So I need to first look at what's in my kitchen. I need to look at what kind of vegetables am I consuming. Am I taking sufficient fruits, fiber, protein, taking lesser carbs, right? How many binge eating am I doing? How many cheat meals am I doing? I need to look at those. Then I need to look at, am I even moving from my seat? Right? That's another big thing. I know my daughter, I have to push her out of the TV. The moment the screen is on, it's like the mind is gone, right? So how much is the person doing physically active exercises and all that? Now you do these two things well, then automatically when there is a bad food which is not right for your body is in front of you, your mind will direct you. From inside you hear this voice, no. It is against, it's incongruent to what you are doing, what you want. Now you do these three things right, you will also start feeling, I think I feel better off if I sleep in the right time and wake up in the right time. So you start sleeping in the right time and waking up earlier. Now you started one habit, you did you became better at 7 things. You look at your weight machine, you have surpassed your expectation of lower than 5 kgs, you are at 7 kgs. Now what did you do? You just did what is in your control. Now let me translate it to whatever you asked. What's in your control? You should study your academics well. You should knock every door possible. Be shameless about asking for help. Go do projects. Do so many projects that everybody around you is tired of seeing you busy. It's okay, and it's all not for a job. You're doing it to become a better version of yourself every day. You will surpass world recessions. You don't need somebody to employ you. You will employ 10 others. You will become like that.
That was very simply put, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you so much, sir. The questions have opened up to many more possibilities, which was very traditional for us. Right? This debate was wonderful. And to my dear audience, is there any queries or questions you'd like to impose to our dearest guests?
Very good morning, sir and ma'am. I just wanted to ask you a simple question. How do I and my friends...
You asked a question, we'll figure out if it's simple or not. I won't ask you a simple question. I said you asked a question, we'll figure out if it's simple or not. Go ahead.
Hello sir, my name is Srizan. I am from CSE. So, how can me and my friends as freshers build connections with professionals and networking, which will help us in getting multiple job opportunities and etc.
Have you seen the movie 3 Idiots?
Yes sir.
What does Amir Khan say in that? Go after knowledge. Nौकर जगमा के पीछे मारेंगे थे. Right? So go figure out, what you should be learning right now. Don't worry about networks, all that will happen. Right? I had one, this is short answer to your question, right? How do you build network? You have your seniors working in industry, start figuring out who are the seniors. You have certain professional network sites, right? Like LinkedIn, you can always follow. Your college has an alumni chapter, right? Understand from there, who are your seniors at college. You have a lot of people who come down here for guest lectures. Like some of us come, right? Try and interact with them, start following them, and invite them for sessions. Request them to be your guides, request them to be your mentors, for certain batches. Invite them for masterclass sessions. That way you get exposure to what they believe, and in turn you also help build networks with these people. Now this is about the informal way, right? There's another way of doing this, which is this is something that I have been mentioning whenever I was in colleges, right? How many of you do projects? All of us are required to do projects as a part of the academic programs, right? But how many of these projects really are worthy, right? When I say worthy, do these projects ever go for a practical implementation or a commercial implementation? If the answer is no, then don't waste your time in these projects. I have a simple solution. You have a beautiful campus here, right? So there are opportunities for each of you as students, regardless of the discipline that you are pursuing, right? You could be a computer science graduate, you could be a mechanical graduate, or a civil engineering graduate. What does it take for you to take up projects? And obviously this is something that you discuss with Dr. Vinay and with Dr. Saini, and I'm sure with their concurrence they will make it enable. Is look at projects which takes care of the entire landscaping of your campus. Okay? Water, drinking water, right? Water supply for your campus, electricity for your campus. So all this currently is managed by staff in your organization, in your campus, or is managed by a third-party service provider. Now, how can you pick up these as projects, run these projects for, let's say, a 3-month window? Now, that becomes your proof of concept. If you can run this, remember, you are going to be consuming what you are delivering to others. If you can go and deliver this to others, right? And they say that, yeah, this is really nice. That's your best proof of concept. So today the industry is looking at, I don't want you to come and tell me I've done academic projects. Rather, I wanted to come and tell me, what have you done that has seen the light of the day? So my urge to Dr. Sani and Dr. Vinay is if you can look for opportunities where students can be involved in projects that are impacting your campus here. Right? It's transportation, it's rostering systems. I mean, you can think of, I can at least rattle at least about 20 different topics now, but I'll leave that to you. But if you can try and look at projects where students can be involved, you have an expert, but at the same time you have the students involved in learning how these projects work, so that it gives them real lifetime experience. That's one way. By doing that, you gain a lot of practical confidence of how you implement on the ground. So when ultimately you have to work in the corporate or the industry, you already have prior knowledge of how you need to implement it when you need to work this. That's my 2 takes. Charlie, if you like to add.
Thank you, sir. I like your advice. One more question, sir. Where do I start building this network? Alumni?
Yeah, alumni networks, your college alumni networks, past students who come for guest lectures, masterclass sessions, LinkedIn. Have you heard of LinkedIn?
Yes, sir.
Right, LinkedIn. Be on the lookout constantly, right? If you just go Google, you'll figure out. In fact, why Google? If you go to GitHub today and type the name of your college, you'll get your college alumni names. That's how large your GitHub is become. Sorry, Jeremy, if you like to add.
I would like to add a few things. There are varieties of channels like Slack. Are you all aware of Slack? Discord?
Yes.
Yeah, there are good tech channels there. You can get them, follow people, you can post, you can do projects. Those are new varieties that are available. In fact, companies have started looking at creating channels there to engage with people and hire if there are smart people, and you could be that smart one. We never know. And then I want to give you a tip. Don't get lost with the magic of networking. Networking can easily become not working. If your network has to be your net worth, then you have to be strategic about it. Identify those 4 or 5 people that you want to follow, which means you need to first sit back, think where you want to get and what will take you there. Who are those people who you can follow? Slowly start sending them something that will be of value to them. People start mirroring us. You give value, they will start giving back value. Right? So start giving value. In the beginning, they will not respond to you. Over a period of time, they will feel, okay, this person is really persuasive, persistent, perseverance. All that they will start seeing, they start responding back. Somebody smiles at you, you will smile back. That's human tendency, isn't it? So slowly that will all happen, and without your knowledge, these 4 or 5 people that are unconnected to each other, you will be the conduit that everyone connects with, and you will become a new combination because you are following them. You are starting to work with them in one or the other. Offer to help in any of the projects that they are working on. You can be in the shadow, your game may not even come out. Doesn't matter because you are gaining experience. Over a period of time, I think it will all come together. In all this, don't think my network has to be 5,000 people. That's not anything. You have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Will anybody come to you if there is a need? Is the question, right? You can have 4 people that are not on Facebook but they come to you for anything. That's the kind of network I would recommend to build.
Thank you.
I request Sujan to come on the dais and take the book. Sujan. I request Sujan to come on the dais. Give a big round of applause. As we draw our Fireside chat to a close, I want to express sincere gratitude to Janani Prakash ma'am and Megha Venkata Chalapati sir for sharing their wisdom and insights with us today. Let us carry the forms of this conversation forward as we continue our journey of learning and growth. Thank you all for joining this enriching discussion. I request our beloved Managing Director, H.S. Saini sir, to felicitate Janani Prakash ma'am and Megha Venkata Chalapati sir.
Again, thanks to Mr. Bobby and Lily Prakash, and thanks again for reminding me there are a lot of opportunities in the campus. You must understand, Mr. Know that we are winners of go-karting. Okay, already level we got the first award in go-karting. Every year we are making go-karts. The two in number one, a diesel or petrol vehicle, or we have e-vehicle. E-vehicle was hit. I enjoyed it myself. So every year, number of students have got into developing a new go-kart. Number two, we have what we call patented chimney, different kind of chimneys in mechanical engineering. Every year, 10 to 15 students involved in this project. You can come forward, you can start working from second year onwards. Third project is going to be commercialized with a dishwasher for messes. Last number, it will wash more than 1,000 dishes in 1 hour. That is going to be product of GNI. And it is going to be commercial, it is GNID and personal supervising it. Want to join this team? We are filing the patent also. Simple formula. You come forward, we have innovation team, there are new projects. Help us in developing those projects. We want to commercialize them and we will get something out of it also. You can join. This is not a new thing. We have already developed and sold the software from this campus. I myself sold software, I developed and sold. It has been patented by some other company, but I have developed and sold. Okay, this can be achieved. You need to be serious. You need to come forward. Take Dr. Sudhir Srivastava with GNID. You register your name with him and join one of the innovation projects. Thank you so much.
a dynamic. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished HRs, starting off with Mr. Hardik Shah, who is the head campus recruiter of ITI Group. Please give him a huge round of applause. Next up is Mr. Sugata Singh, sir, who is the head at Early Careers, at Hexagon Technologies. Please welcome sir with a huge round of applause. Next up is Dr. Reena Basma, who is a CHRO at Keolis, Hyderabad. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause. Guys, she's representing women empowerment. Next up, we have Mr. P. Sarvanand, who is a Senior Vice President at Roshan Technologies. Please give sir a huge round of applause. Now, we have Ms. Patni Sarvanand, the HR of Tech Mahindra. Please give her a huge round of applause. Next is Krupali Radhan ma'am, who is a Senior Manager at Disney Star. Now, welcome Mr. Kirti Vasandaru, who is a Director of Human Resources at Pick Your Tribe. Like they say, let the discussion begin. So please give all of these HRs a huge round of applause. I'm excited to learn something from them today.
Good morning, Hyderabad. Good morning. Yes, that. So, hope we had a great fire chat discussion with Janani and Bobby there. Okay, you guys can got some great inputs from these two speakers. Now we have a great number of speakers with diversified industry HR leaders are here. Okay. So the topic itself, it's happening in the panel discussion. See, I supposed to be one of the speakers. Due to some changes, now I've become the moderator here. So I just want to explain to you here, as a student, you need to be capable enough to always welcome for the change management. That's why I want to highlight it here, right? So how we become, I become a speaker, be the moderator now. The same way anything may happen. So I think someone asked about so something happened in the recession, how to manage or how to connect with the network. So those things are no, it is beyond our control. No one control recession. Definitely no. No one is here. So but we need to make ourselves capable enough to adapting the changes. So that is the topic which we are going to discuss now. How to adapt the changes. So that the first discussion you discuss about one chapter in your career progress. So what kind of expectation from the corporate, from the student, and what's happening in the industry, and what kind of expectation from the industry to the student, what is happening in the industry, how you make yourself upskill or connecting with people. Yes, someone asked about the question related to networking with people. So the connecting with people is an art. I always say that because I always insisting the student that don't connect with your HR folks or your seniors only for the job opportunity. That will always create maybe they may miss you. Okay, you need to connect with them continuously there. You're not able to become a chef within one day, no. It will be really tough. So you need to be continuously in the practice of doing networking that will be useful for your skill development as well as then depends on your interest or continuous learning, the leaders will connect with. Okay, good. Again, I'm looking out for more questions because we are now here. I don't want to, you just think that we are here. It's like an OTT channel. Okay, so now you have so many options. Okay, whichever the questions you want, you can ask because in my childhood days, no, we don't have option. Only one channel would be there. If we are like it or not like it, we need to watch the channel. But now it's the trending now. You can whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you want to know. You can ask us. We are all the HR leaders. Some of the people traveling from a long journey from Chennai to here. We are all here to give a knowledge partnering with you all. Alright? We are all here to support you. I don't want to take much time. Let's moving on to the topic. Adopting changes, particularly related to talent development, which is the topic which we are going to discuss now. I can say that it's the second chapter. You can think it is the future of your career path. Once you join within an organization with your skill set and a proper interview and other stuff, whichever the passionate in your job, you have joined with an organization. Now, it is the second chapter, how the organization is developing the talent. What kind of processes they are doing it to develop, making them capable enough to fit with the company. So those things which we are going to discuss it now, it is like futuristic your career path. Right? I just throw some question with a common question with all the panel members. Okay, I want to start with the Disney because I got a great clap from her. So once again, give a big round of applause to Kripali as well as the Disney was there. So let's start with a different industry, particularly the entertainment industry. Then just want to understand that the fundamental question. So Kripali, I just want to understand what are the key challenges you are facing in your particularly in the different industry. Entertainment, it is new industry and we are all curious to know that about adapting changes in talent strategies. You can share it with your the student fraternity. It will be helpful to know better.
Thank you, Raja. One quick introduction, I didn't know my name is